What happened to the prettiest, most popular girl after high school? She's working at American National. She was a total bitch in school, but she's been really nice every time I've seen her since. Funny how it works out like that sometimes. There was a guy a year above me who was almost a comically stereotypical asshole jock in high school. I ended up at the same college as him and we kind of randomly were in the same extended group of friends. He turned into a pretty good guy and we ended up pretty good friends by the time we graduated. Our popular girl was co-head cheerleader, homecoming queen, and an honor student, in the top 25 out of a graduating class of about 400. She is now a physician, living with the most popular guy, and they have 2 kids. Nice people. Bit stupid but nice. That's all I want to be. Stupid and nice. Edit. Reddit is mean to me. Became a professional model and married an Italian businessman. Got hotter. Got a doctorate. Travels the world curing AIDS in third world countries with her equally hot fiancé registered sign. Edit. Apparently, fiancé registered sign E is the future wife and fiancé registered sign is the future husband. The more you know. We had sort of a group of popular girls. And they were all pretty nice. Smart people. One works for Snapchat. Another works for an international NGO and is pretty much constantly traveling to developing countries. One's a music teacher. And another one is going to medical school. For a while I had that whole everyone in my school is so dumb and shallow and I'm real and cool attitude that I think some people tend to get when they're insecure and already really different. And need to cope with it in one way or another. But at my 5-year reunion I went on a whim. I realized that so many people I wrote off in high school because they were popular and I wasn't were really interesting. Nice people. Congratulations on growing up to be an insightful, pleasant and humble person. Incidentally, this is basically my issue with every media portrayal of high school. That popular and or attractive people are immediately horrible and shallow by default. And the protagonist is wonderful for no reason other than they are real or themselves. She met a nice guy and had a kid. They got engaged and then he was shot over a false connection. Tragic really. She was voted best looking. And married the guy who was voted best looking. That was 34 years ago. Still married. Still good looking. And all around good people. Isn't that just infuriating and inspiring at the same time? Like, good for them and the world. Go make more attractive good people. But FCK them. In a shocking turn of events, our popular girl was actually quite nice. I think she runs a bakery now. Did some modeling. Got fake boobs. Worked on a mine site for several years driving heavy machinery and pulling in the big bucks. Got featured on a reality TV show about FIFO, fly in fly out, miners. A few news articles picked up her story with her modeling past. Eventually got a small feature on the Playboy website. Most recently was on another reality show. This time a dating show where she was quite successful. One of the most popular girls at my school got pregnant during our senior year by the guy she'd been dating since the 7th grade. Against all odds she is on her way to becoming a teacher with a 3-year-old daughter and is still with her middle school sweetheart. She and her boyfriend are being charged with the murder of an elderly man. There's currently a warrant out for her arrest. But it's been months and they haven't found her. Last I saw, she was panhandling on the street. She was popular in HS. Made the front page of the town paper for graduation. Super smart in university. During college, she developed schizophrenia. She was in and out of the psych ward a lot. Heard from my mom. Who knew her mom? She was an absolute terror all of a sudden. Wasn't responding to medication well. And was turning to drugs. That's really sad. She eventually married Robin Williams. Hi Sue. Love you and hope you're doing well. She's still trying to get over her ex-boyfriend that was 5 years older than her. She's broke. Obtained her associates. and now trying to get into a university's nursing program. Luckily, she has an ugly wealthy boyfriend that can support her while she pursues her education. Source: I graduated about 2 weeks ago. The prom queen announced on Snapchat that she is pregnant. She went to a party and was slipped a roofie and was raped. She knew who RP'd her and reported him. She got pregnant from the RP and chose to keep the child. A little while later, while still pregnant, she was walking home from school. This was early on in the pregnancy, about 2-3 months in, and a group of 4-5 girls, who were considered her friends, jumped her and started kicking her in the stomach, trying to get her to miscarriage. She ended up dropping out of high school, had her kid, and became a stripper. I went to the same school with her since we were 5. She was such a nice, smart girl whose life just took a turn. A group of 4-5 girls, who were considered her friends, jumped her and started kicking her in the stomach, trying to get her to miscarriage. What the actual FCK? She was a ballerina who posted selfies to FB all the time. They stopped suddenly about a month ago. Now I'm seeing a bunch of RIP posts to her wall. I'm guessing not great. Not 6 months after graduation, she was convicted for organizing collaborating her boyfriend's armed robbery of the local Burger King where she worked. Edit: the second hottest one is an anesthesiologist now. Well, she's Emily Ratajkowski, so I guess she's doing pretty well. Edit: to the people asking me what she's like, I honestly have no idea. Even then, she was very popular, and I'm sure everybody in the school knew who she was. In contrast, I was super nerdy and introverted. I remember that she was very pretty and she seemed pretty friendly the 1 or 2 times I said hi to her. She came out as a lesbian, married her partner, and they had a baby last year. I assume artificial insemination. She was always not only beautiful and athletic, but super sweet and friendly. Even to a big nerd like me. Deserves all good things that come her way. She married an Argentinian and moved to Argentina. I went to school with Kate Upton, the Miss South Carolina Teen USA contestant who said the whole US Americans like such as thing a few years ago. She was really sweet. Actually, she was never exactly bright, but she was always nice and helpful to everyone. As far as I know, she went on to do some TV shows, modeling, and she is a real estate agent now. Went to a top-end college, graduated, got a job and got married. She's a good person. Her name is Robert now. That is all. She's a waitress at a nice restaurant lounge. Her life goal is to marry a rich guy. My school didn't really have one of those, even though there were about 1,000 people in my high school, as it was too hippied out. There was one group who dressed and looked like the popular kids, but nobody really liked them and they weren't ever really invited to any parties. Same with my current high school. The most popular kids are the funny kids who are pretty nice to everyone. To be fair, it is an arts-based school. We're all gay or FK'd up in some way. She was quite nice and dated the handsome football star. After high school she got implants and became the trophy girlfriend for the football star who now plays in the NFL. He was also a pretty nice guy, so I'm glad he's been successful because he was too dumb for anything else. Every reasonably attractive girl I went to school with finished college and is now gainfully employed, and most of them live on their own or are on their way to doing so. Nothing exciting. We got together 4 years ago after not seeing each other for years and are currently on our honeymoon. Blink twice if she's sitting right behind you. We can help, brother. Well, I don't know if she finally graduated high school this year or not, but I don't know the details. Basically, she's one of those promo girls for a nightclub. Has had multiple nudes leaked. There are so many levels of messed up right here. She's still super hot. I saw her at the grocery store last week and she's like 8 months pregnant. Hottest pregnant chick I've ever seen. Lucky guy whoever he is. I wouldn't have pulled out either. About to graduate med school. Still drop dead gorgeous. And recently engaged to a fellow student. Also contacts me semi-regularly to say hi and see what I'm up to and congratulate me on anything important in my life. Bitch. She's had a good life. The kind of life she wanted. A happy marriage. A job she loves. Active in her church. And her kids grew up to be getting a good start in their own lives. She was not only popular and beautiful, but very friendly and kind. She still looks great too. Knocked her up. 2 kids. 27 years blissful marriage this Jan. This is going to sound like the most anticlimactic humble brag ever. But the most popular girl in my high school was me. I was the cheer captain. Homecoming and prom queen. Voted friendliest, best dressed and most likely to become a supermodel in the school. I graduated. Went to college for a year and dropped out due to mental health issues, depression and anxiety. I now work in sales and marketing at a cable company. I live with my boyfriend and that's about it. I'm pretty happy. I guess. I quit wearing makeup or doing my hair fancy every day and deleted all social media. I saw her at a steak and shake a couple years ago. Took me a few minutes to figure out who she was because she looked so familiar. She had gotten super fat. Almost beyond recognition. And was yelling at a bunch of kids who turned out to be her own. It was satisfying. She was, and apparently still is, a huge bitch. Some might say she grew into a bigger bitch. I attended my HS 30-year reunion. Mainly to show off my beautiful wife. In HS I was the absolute loser with girls. In particular there was this one gorgeous cheerleader whose legs would make a guy salivate. She openly ridiculed me. Once I think due to the color of my socks. We had way too many classes together. Anyway, at this 30-year reunion, this former cheerleader sits down next to me and starts talking to me like I am a long lost friend. I play along, but damn. Time has not been kind to this woman. If I were single I would not be interested at all. Moral of the story. Some people peak in high school. You do not want to be one of those people. I was the prom queen my senior year and had tons of friends. Lost my scholarship. Dropped out after a year of aimless community college with 0 debt and 0 skills. Did nothing for 3 years. Made new friends. And got a job cashiering at Walmart. It's not that bad. We get an hour for lunch. She received a full ride to an Ivy League school. Got pregnant the summer between high school and college. Had the kid. Baby's father, a college SR. Left her high and dry. She became a huge druggie. Her subsequent kids got taken away from her. She's been in rehab a few times. And she's now super fat. Sadly she's done nothing with her life and she posts about her idiocy drama on Facebook constantly. You're a 34-year-old woman, Megan. Get your shit together. One mistake. That's all it takes to FCK up your whole life. She was my best friend throughout high school and she's now my wife. I don't know. I don't care. FCK high school. I'm not cool or popular enough to have kept up with the most popular girl. She's a life coach. She has about 3,000-4,000 Facebook friends. Her Facebook photos are 90% close-up selfies of herself and the same 3 friends smooshing their painted faces against each other. She is incredibly over-enthusiastic about the most average of things. Overall she's not evil or anything. But she is very full of herself and very shallow. PRN. Already. 1 year out. Depends on who was the prettiest. Of the 2 that people generally agreed on. One became Miss USA. And the other is an actress model who seems to be doing well for herself. They were both good people in high school. And they're probably still good people now. Redhead redemption. Ketamine overdose. Pretty hard to OD from ketamine as the LD50 is 77 mg/kg, so if she's around 60 kilograms, 132 lbs, she would need to inject around 4. 62 grams/46. 2 milliliters, which is a ton, into her veins in one sitting. Similar to wizards. Addicts never overdose. They take precisely the amount they meant to. Eventual death. That can be said about anyone. Nihilistically speaking. Lost her scholarship. Got pregnant. Dropped out of community college. And deleted all her social media profiles. Satisfying after all the bullying. Well, I went to Catholic school, don't worry. I'm safely lapsed now, and the prettiest girl in our school went to college. Got her degree. Worked about 6 months. Then got married to some older accountant looking dude and is currently up to 4 kids and counting. Her entire Facebook feed is pictures of her kids doing various Catholic school type stuff like First Communion, Christmas plays, and anti-abortion letter writing campaigns. Sometimes she's in the pictures too. A little squad of offspring. We call those families. 40ish super skinny trophy wife. About 20 minutes from her expiration date. In a state with no alimony. Funny how so many of the entries here say more about the writer than the person they're talking about. I'm browsing Reddit. Thanks for asking. She married a rich guy. Rich guy is the most genuine, down-to-earth person I know. She was the classic full of herself student in school just passing by with less than average grades. Apparently, she has bald patches now because she started pulling strands of her hair out. You mean where did I hide the body or? Question mark. I'm confused. I think most of this was covered in the papers. I saw her in the metro in Montreal with an older lady who was trying to explain the employee's manual of a major bank to her. No, you don't have to read the whole thing. Just if you have questions you look the answers up. With the index. At the front of the book. No. I don't know what your questions are. No. I don't know what the answers to the questions you don't even have yet are. It's a book. If you can't operate a book I'm not sure I can help you. Her tits still look fabulous though.